Waking up with the voice of Graham Morgan in the morning time. Yeah, there's a place for people like you somewhere up there. Good morning to you, Grenada, Cupini, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, to you, wherever you are. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. It is the 25th day of the month of November, and we're up and about. It is literally a month before Christmas. No exaggeration, no cutting corners with you. It is the 25th of November. So you can start counting the days, Grenada. You can literally start counting the days. You can feel the change in the air. It is here. The moment, the time we've been waiting for, it is almost here. So wherever you are, I say a wonderful good morning to you. Hope you've rested sufficiently, and if by chance you haven't, I hope it's enough. That's about enough. That allows you to go through the day. I'm Joseph Cadorn. Thanks for being part of the broadcast. This is Classic in the Morning Time, Classic 105.5 and 105.9. Good morning to our viewers on GBN Television, those of you on Facebook, YouTube, on the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd. A wonderful good morning to you. We started the day today with the word of the day, as we normally do, and the word of the day for today, the 25th, it's feign, and it is a verb, and it is spelled F-E-I-G-N, the word feign, and there's feigned, feigning, feigns, but by definition, it's to give a false appearance of something, or to induce a false impression of, to assert as if true, to pretend, to imagine, to conceal, to disguise. So, he feigned that he was not feeling well so that he could leave the party early. Yes? The word feigned. He told the truth because he was not good at feigning. The word of the day, feign. F-E-I-G-N, and it is a verb. Just another word to add to your vocabulary in the morning time. There is a word of the day, and there's also the thought of the day. At the very moment when people underestimate you is when you can make a breakthrough. It's simple. At the very moment when people underestimate you, it is when you can make a breakthrough. Because very often we live in the shadows of individuals, of what they think, what they believe that we can't do. Not necessarily believing in ourselves. But sometimes we just have to wait for that opportune moment. When they think you cannot, when they think very little of you, that's your opportunity to shine, to bask in your glory, in your moment. So, at that moment when people underestimate you, it is when you can make your breakthrough. Waiting for your breakthrough today? Maybe today, just maybe today, is the day that you go ahead and you do exactly that. Yeah? Stop living in the shadows of others, but today you get a chance to break free and deliver. The second thought of the day, when I is replaced by we. I'll take this one very, very slowly. And for the purpose of those of you in television, it's on your screen, the second thought of the day. When I, the letter I, is replaced by the we, every illness becomes wellness. Maybe the situation you're going through, that sad moment, you're feeling depressed because you're thinking it's just about you, that sense of self-centeredness. When I is replaced by we, every illness becomes a wellness. Today, less about you, and let's be more inclusive, and that illness will become wellness. Interesting, isn't it? Quite powerful. If you tune on it a little bit more, you may then realize, wow, this is deeper than I actually thought. It is deeper than I actually thought. I also try to help you to offer you some health tips every day, and today we look at the useful tips regarding the drinking of water. Drinking water is advantageous in every way. It assists in metabolism and digestion, prevents constipation and the accumulation of waste products in the body. It keeps away diseases and even helps in keeping the skin clear of acne and pimples. Guess what? A little bit more water today. It's probably just a bit of a good time when you wake up in the morning just to flush your system. And these days it's pretty hot. I don't think anything could possibly be wrong with a little bit of water. 0 calories? Yeah, that's a good way to maintain and keep the count in the morning. Well, while we're on keeping the count, Mikey, we're going to look at the dashboard, the COVID-19 dashboard. As of yesterday we had 2 new cases, and the total number of active cases is 58. And yes, so the total number of active cases is 58. On the dashboard, you can see the number of partially vaccinated individuals and those fully vaccinated. But again, I'm really happy for those of you that follow this every day. Those of you that follow this every day, Mikey, the death column, it has remained stagnant for almost the last 2 weeks. And I'm really happy about this. We've really turned the corner while we've seen the trickling of some of those numbers, and that is expected, but it means we've gotten something right and we are figuring it out, and that is really quite happy about that. So while you're on that, you're probably considering today you may want to go get tested just to make sure that you are fine, or you are considering maybe becoming vaccinated. Well, for today, Thursday, you can pop in at the Kirani James Stadium through Gate B. There's the health centers across the island, and for the purpose of visitation to the health centers, you must make an appointment by calling the different numbers for those health centers. For those of you without the numbers, the numbers are 440-3371. That's for the St. George Health Center. For Granborough, it's 442-76, 23. St. David is 444-6249. Soteres is 442-9317. Grove Health Center is 444-8414. And for Hillsborough Carriacou, it is 443-7280. You can also pop into Dr. Francis Martin's office on Grenville Street on Mondays to Fridays, 8 until 2, and on Saturdays, they're available from 9 until 12. Yes? Just do what you have to do and keep yourself in the know. And then there's a Guelph Polyclinic where it is there available on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 until 3. So today they're available there. But you are encouraged to use the top entrance. Right? So for those of you that's acquainted with it, you use the top entrance. The numbers for the COVID hotline, it is 538-7487, 538-4787. Digicel and a Cable and Wireless number. The Digicel is the 538. The Cable and Wireless is the 458. Do what you have to do. Keep yourself in the know. And reminded you, you're getting the kids ready. Social distancing protocol. Folks, just do what you have to do. We have the numbers contained. Let's do it and do what we have to do. Sanitize, the social distancing protocol, and the wearing of the mask. It is of paramount importance. 18 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. We're making progress in the morning time. For those of you that's heading there for 7 o'clock, reminding you that the morning edition, it comes up in just a bit right here on Classic. For those of you that is on television and your other social media platforms, you get a rebroadcast of the top stories from last evening's newscast. Reminding you that we're wrapping up, the Ministry of Fisheries Division, they're wrapping up their inspections and licensing process, and that's taking place, and you are reminded to go out because it ends, literally, it finishes. The inspection process ends at the end of the month. Get your fishing vessels out there, because failure to pass your inspections or to renew your license would have serious consequences. And there is an inspection fee. Relatively minimal. It's between $5 and $15. Go out, Grenada, and do what you have to do. The modern edition comes up next right here on Classic 105.5 and 105.9. The morning.
The forecast focus on oil and gas has changed drastically within the last 3 years since a famous pronouncement by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell just before his party retained office in 2018. He had confirmed a large deposit of commercially viable oil and gas in Grenada's waters. Gerard Joseph brings this story up to date.
Did the Keith Mitchell-led NNP administration put the cart before the horse on its major announcement that oil of substantial commercial value had been discovered in Grenada's marine space?
Sisters and brothers, one well. We have several more wells which are even more exciting than the one they just found. In other words, Grenada can be a massive supplier of oil and gas.
Or was it nothing more than an election gimmick, as was purported by the former political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Nazim Burke? From the announcement 2 days before the March 13th, 2018 general election to issues surrounding an agreement with Global Petroleum Group and Trinidad's BGC, the last update on oil and gas came in May 2019.
It's a standard in the industry that even after I have been working with one of these companies in the industry, I have a gag on my mouth for at least 7 years. I can't even speak of it because I'll be prosecuted.
The new National Party administration has now seemingly changed its tune on the topic of oil and gas. In a recent interview with media personalities, Prime Minister Mitchell said despite considerable oil and gas deposits found in 2 wells drilled, it was not enough.
But these 2 wells, you can't carry a business over a long period. These guys are investing hundreds of millions of US dollars. They have to have 5-6 wells to move.
The Prime Minister noted the compound the situation is the global move to reduce and ultimately eliminate the use of fossil fuels, as announced in a recent climate change conference.
But I cannot tell you that if I was an investor in fossil fuel at this time, that would be the best place to put my money. At this fact, when the whole world is saying we have to move away from that, the production of electric vehicles that's where the world going.
He says Grenada's future in oil and gas remains doubtful.
At this point, I am not very hopeful that you will see a serious investor starting to drill again immediately until he's satisfied that the output of his investment would be in his interest.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, says they will have a keen eye when the budget is presented this Friday. The public sector union is hoping that government addresses areas such as infrastructure of government buildings, education, and increasing capacity of human resources within the health sector. Here's Gerard Joseph once again with that story.
More investment in the infrastructure of government buildings forms part of the expectations the PW has in looking forward to the 2022 budget presentation.
As we speak right now, a number of floors in the ministerial complex for several months have been without air conditioning. On top of that, you have leaky roofs. To compound that, you have carpets, right? So when it rains, you have no AC, people have to wear masks. So there's a lot of congestion happening in there.
PW President Brian Grimes says a overhaul of government buildings in terms of repairs and maintenance is needed, and the union is expecting to see allocations for such in the budget.
And some people are making comments that, listen, you see public officers leaving the ministerial complex early or whatever it is, but they don't know, they don't understand the conditions these workers have to operate under. People coming down with respiratory problems, headaches, they're feeling sick. So they come in and they try to do as much as they can, but it's unbearable. And I think it is wholly unacceptable for government to have a building of that magnitude and importance to the servicing and regarding giving services.
Grimes notes that some health centers are in deplorable conditions. He says another hope is that government creates spaces within the estimates of revenue and expenditure for health sector workers.
So we're looking at if we had 128 spaces for nurses or whatever it is, bring that up to, let's say, 155, 160, because we are short staffed. We know they can do it. We know that they can do it. We are confident they can do it. They have created spaces in different arenas for wardens, traffic wardens, for environmental wardens. We all know, do I have to go over the importance of our nurses and retaining the nurses and having a proper stock of nurses within our country?
Education is the third area of focus the PW wants government to address within the 2022 budget. Representing workers at TAMCC, Grimes says the issues surrounding the nation's indigenous and primary tertiary education institution.
And there are a lot of problems there regarding increment payments and wages and just the overall infrastructure of the TAMCC. So we are looking for a bigger subvention on a yearly basis or at least on a monthly basis to go towards TAMCC. Because as it stands now, based on my understanding, there have been talks of possibly raising fees, but that has been shut down from the authorities, and that is understandable because people are struggling and you want education to be as free as possible. But
the Ministry of Education is expected to be allocated 108 million, the Ministry of Health 76 million, and the Ministry of Infrastructure $9 million when the budget is presented on Friday. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The Rastafarian community has been very vocal about the decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada, since, according to them, Grenada is one of the last countries in the region to take such a step. Here's Christelina John, who spoke with a member of the community about government's move to table a bill before Parliament this Friday that will make way to answer their call.
The Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Amendment Bill 2021 will go before Parliament for its first reading on Friday. Government has taken one step towards decriminalizing cannabis as a bill that seeks to amend the Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act, Chapter 84A, by decriminalizing the use of cannabis by Rastafarians in place of worship and allowing persons who have attained the age of 18 years to produce, supply, or offer to supply a small amount of cannabis. High priest of the House of the Nyabingi in Grenada, Prince Nana, is in high praise at government's intent.
And I give thanks and praise to His Majesty, Selassie, Rastafari, and it is a joy to know that the government is now taking up the marijuana business very seriously, and I appreciate what is going on right now with this bill. I pray that everything be airy, and I pray that the Rastafarian people get full justice. Give thanks. Selassie I live.
Legislation, it is hoped, will address the decriminalization of a small quantity of cannabis as the starting point, which would most likely avoid young people with a small quantity in their possession to be given a criminal record. According to Agriculture Minister Peter David, in an earlier interview, there will also be the inclusion in the legislation the cultivation of a small amount of the plant, and the third is allowing Rastafarian community and organizations to use cannabis as their sacramental offering.
I pray that at this moment that the government, the Honorable Government of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, establish a moratorium as this bill is before Parliament. I pray that the government establish a moratorium, that is to say they stop, lock up the asses and them. Give thanks.
It is hoped that the bigger issues of cultivation for medicinal purposes and as an income generator for the country will be addressed as time progresses. Christelina John, GBN News.
Despite understanding the plight of contract workers within the public service, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says government's hands remain tied due to certain fiscal responsibilities with international lending agencies. While noting the importance of regularizing contract work, the Prime Minister said the question left to be answered is what government can do about the issue. Here's Gerard Joseph with the details.
There should be one public service. There should not be parallel public service running alongside the public service.
Contrary to the stance taken by NDC's political leader Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has again hinted at the budget presentation on Friday for relief, this time concerning contract workers in the public sector. The Prime Minister noted it directly relates to public officers who were disenfranchised from receiving the 4% salary increases and the result in retroactive payments which ensued.
The Minister of Finance hoping to make some announcement during the budget period about contract workers, the fact that they should have been getting the increases that government other workers got. And we should be doing some additional things and correcting some of the problems they face. And the problem with the teachers and regularization.
Prime Minister Mitchell was also pressed by the media on further action from government in providing decent contracts instead of the normal 6-month or 1-year fixed-term contracts.
This is a burning issue, again, I admit. And this is an issue that we must resolve. There are two aspects of this. One, you're right, I see no reason why a 5-year contract can't be given with conditions for your performance, right? So if you're after 2 years and you are given civil notices of malperformance, then you can lose your job.
The Prime Minister said there are other approaches government can take to fortify the status of contract work.
And my feeling is, if the government decide to look at the emolument, in the contract comes the question of payment for NIS and other services. The question of leave. In other words, your contract should be based on the fact that you may not be taking leave, so to speak. And if you're not, that the size of the contract, emolument-wise, can be accommodated.
Facilitating the process whereby financial institutions treat contract workers differently was another concern raised by the media.
Now, if I'm working for 5 years and 10 years, I don't have to go and write a letter and say his contract was renewed so-and-so time and he has a 1-year contract. And that is almost telling the bank or the institution not to give a service. So I think that's another fundamental issue. So there would be a template from government about these workers who are doing a good job and they are, in effect, permanently employed, not necessarily under the public service, but providing a service that the economy would always need. Then I think we will be able to solve that problem.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Welcome back. Team Grenada at Expo Dubai 2020 has come in for high commendation from people visiting the pavilion. One such individual is the United Arab Emirates Minister of State, His Excellency Sheikh Mubarak Al Nahyan. Chrislina John has the details in this report.
His Excellency was welcomed by Deputy Commissioner General Mistress Shanta Cox. The UAE Minister of State had the privilege of touring the pavilion and later discussed a possible visit to Grenada. Speaking with GBN in an exclusive interview via telephone on Tuesday, Pavilion team member Ria Burke shares the team's experience and what would be happening in the days ahead.
In preparing for Expo Dubai, the team was very uncertain of what to expect. These COVIDious times, as we've termed it, has ushered in nuanced challenges, including an increased fear of travel. Therefore, we've been pleasantly surprised by the turnout we've encountered thus far. The Grenada Pavilion has actually been well received by the world as visitors from all over the globe continue to flock to the pavilion as they get to enjoy our music, experience our rich culture, and browse through the investment and tourism opportunities that our country has to offer. These Grenadian products that we brought with us have also garnered great attention as visitors are appreciating just a chance to take away pieces of Grenada with them. It's truly an amazing opportunity to witness people fall in love with Grenada every day.
Usually under the Caribbean banner, Grenada for the first time personalized its own pavilion at Expo Dubai 2020. Products from about 20 Grenadian manufacturers are presently on display at the Expo venue.
We've been blessed not to experience any significant challenges thus far. However, any challenges that do arise, the team works tirelessly to resolve, ensuring that Grenada is properly represented on this global platform.
The 6-month exhibition officially began on October 1st and climaxes on the 31st of March 2022. According to Burke, in the weeks ahead, all focus will be on preparation for Grenada National Day, which will be celebrated on January 15th, 2022. There are three components of the National Day: a flag-raising ceremony and official speech. The Minister of Foreign Affairs in Dubai will deliver a speech, and so too will the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business and CARICOM Affairs, Honorable Oliver Joseph. There will be a cultural presentation by the Grenada Cultural Team, headed by the versatile Shondel Dashamede, and media brief and business meetings. During that day, there will also be an official tour of the Grenada Pavilion, followed by a tour of the UAE Pavilion. The cultural delegation will be headed by Minister Joseph, engaged in performances within the Expo as well as venues outside of the Expo facility. Christelina John, GBN News.
Minister of Health Nicholas Steele, in announcing the installation of a new 128-slice CT scanner at the General Hospital, is one that is timely, as it will assist the hospital in providing accurate results and better health care. The slice CT scanner can be adapted to provide three-dimensional images for virtual any patient, young or old, including those with cardiac or respiratory conditions that make it difficult to get high-quality images with other types of scanners.
So today I want to speak to CT and imaging. So we are, as has been announced previously, and we are most grateful to the Maria Holder Memorial Trust Foundation for assisting us in the acquisition of a 128-slice CT scanner. That CT scanner will greatly improve the medical personnel's ability to diagnose, quick diagnosis of certain significant ailments with respect to strokes in particular.
The CT scanner was donated by the Maria Holder Memorial Trust to the General Hospital and offers faster, safer, more accurate diagnosis. According to experts, the scanner capabilities help eliminate the need for follow-up tests and can potentially shorten hospital stays. Minister Steele said government also acquired new X-ray machines from the General Hospital for the General Hospital, as well as plans to commission equipment on the sister Isle of Carriacou.
We have also acquired new X-rays for the General Hospital, which are currently being installed as well. We use the opportunity, because the CT scanner was purchased from GE, that also have technicians coming in and doing the final commissioning of the new X-ray system, which will facilitate the move over to phase 2 of the hospital, which will be at the lower level of phase 2 of the hospital. Carriacou as well, we did purchase just before or during the COVID pandemic, a portable X-ray system for Carriacou. Over the last couple of months, we've done the work to get the site ready. So I would expect that we would be doing some sort of final commissioning within the next month or so for Carriacou.
In other news, newly appointed chairman of the Spice Mass Corporation, Arlie Gill, is hinting of the possibility of Spice Mass 2022, referring to the most look forward to event on Grenada's calendar. He said Spice Mass is some 9 months away and a carnival of some type may be possible. Of course, a lot will depend on our COVID situation before a final decision is made by government. He added that once sanctioned by government, whatever format a 2022 Spice Mass takes, virtual or otherwise, it would be a festival of a high standard, one incorporating all the elements of our carnival with the objective of producing a world-class carnival arts product. Mr. Gill, an attorney at law, cultural expert, and Grenada's ambassador to CARICOM, was a senator and minister of culture when the SMC was established in 2011. The chief executive officer of SMC is Kelvin Jacob, and the Gill-led board includes an official representing soca and calypso, as well as Chris Edwards of the Mass Bands Association and Victor Ashby of the Grenada Steel Bands Association. Among others, on the board of directors are the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Culture, as well as representatives drawn from sectoral groups such as the Grenada Tourism Authority, the National Lotteries Authority, the police, and the legal fraternity. Mr. Gill replaces former chair Genevieve Gibbs. And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Perry-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement has welcomed the political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Dixon Mitchell, into frontline politics. He believes Mitchell is one on the right path to challenge Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell in the next general election. However, he is warning the NDC leader to never underestimate the sitting Grenadian leader. GBN brought this story and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Diane Ramsey said, "Don't go there. I don't think anyone knows when their time is near. Young or old, leave that to God." Peter Mitchell wrote, "It's not about young or old. It's about who can deliver to the people, and experience is a major factor." Jones said, "This nonsense in Grenada will stop one day, and somebody will be replaced and put into the dustbin of history. Oppression can't be forever," asked the late Eric Matthew Geary. Philbert wrote, "Take the message and don't try to belittle the messenger. If you understand the political process as good as me, then you might have a different opinion and not the dream world you meant developing." And finally, Marsha Gay commented, "Unemployment, suffering pain, no money, uneducated. The beneficiaries are the members of parliament. We have nothing to develop the young people. No factory, a set of concrete here, there, and everywhere. Invest in your people. The best investment someone can make is in their children." That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platform.
Store foods safely in the event of an emergency or disaster. Check expiry dates and store items that are closer to expiration at the front of the cupboard. Protect opened packages of dried items from pests and losing freshness by placing them in containers with lids. Always keep food covered and stored away from cleaning items. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
2050, 2050, 2050. That's our pledge to you. You get 20% of the purchase of 4 new tires at Premium Auto Services. And that's not all. You get an additional 50% discount on your wheel alignment. Wow! Now that's a deal. Additionally, you receive free wheel balancing service with the purchase of 2 new tires. It's a 2050 deal. Only at Premium Auto Services. Call today to place your order. 439-4000. Offer valid while stocks last.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at Grenland, you come first. Save energy, save our time. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. All
you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
much pain in my heart. You just couldn't be true. And you're not willing to change, so I wanna move on. I'm dying inside, and my heart is tearing apart. So I'm telling you, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving you. You never should have made me cry. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving, and I'm never coming back again. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving you. I never wanna see you again. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Thinking about those lonely days and those lonely nights. You left me to sleep in that bed all by myself. And I've been calling your phone every minute of the night. Never could I get to you. When I couldn't find you, all I could do was cry. So baby, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving you. You never should have made me cry. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving, and I'm never gonna.
Yeah, dancing with somebody in the morning time, Grenada, keeping our eyes on the clock. It is 18 minutes actually gone past the hour in the morning time. We're listening there to the magical, scintillating voice of the late Whitney Houston. That was Whitney when Whitney was just Whitney. Then she went to Whitney, and now she is no more. May her soul rest in peace. Folks, we have some really great news for you. You know, you've heard the expression in life, when it's nice, you do it twice. And certainly, because it was really wonderful, the response was overwhelming. And certainly for other factors involved, well, or maybe just at Grenada, we just a blessed set of people. We're getting an opportunity yet again, from the World Pediatric Project to be part of an excellent program of volunteerism. And I'm being joined by the local rep, that's Margaret Primus Joseph. Good morning, Lady Joseph. How are you?
Good morning, Kado, to your listening and viewing audience. I am fine, thank you. What about you?
I am wonderful as always. I can see you smiling expressively, and I know you have enough. There's a lot of reasons why you're smiling. No, I know you're up and about, but there's something else, some really great news you want to share with us this morning, isn't there?
Of course, Kado. Why am I that early, bright-eyed and in front of you? Okay. So, good morning again to Grenada. I am here bearing excellent, great news to our pediatric population that the World Pediatric Project will be hosting a general orthopedic clinic in Grenada on the 5th of December at 8 a.m. The venue is going to be at the Health and Occupational Health and Safety Department in General Hospital. It's close to the physiotherapy department, so where persons normally go to have endoscopy, that's the exact place we'll be having the clinic.
But this clinic is special, though, because the team was here just about 2-3 weeks ago. They were moving on to another island, but they are back.
Oh, yes. I must say we are very privileged, because normally we would have expected another trip till next year. But because of the overwhelming support of persons showed up, we had 71 persons showing up in the last clinic, which was held over a day and a half. So in that clinic, it was specific for scoliosis. However, we had persons showing up with general orthopedic cases, and that caused the team, because they had some additional money, they are heading to Dominica to host a scoliosis clinic, but then realized Grenada has a need, so they decide they will pass and do one-day clinic to address the general orthopedic conditions in children.
About orthopedic condition, what exactly are those conditions that you are referring to?
Okay, for those conditions, that anything that falls under, when you say orthopedic bone condition with children. So for example, persons with bow legs, the children with bow legs, knock knees, they may have an issue with the hip, They may have issues with their hand, anything to do with the bone in any part of the body. They will be addressing that. So persons will be able to be seen. Because of the short notice, we're making it even more convenient for the parents and the children. They can just get a doctor to write a referral, any doctor, to write a referral to get them to come to the clinic, and they would just need a recent x-ray, like no older than 3 months. We would like that x-ray to be done, and also just as usual, walk with the weight and height to process, because when you have so many people showing up, we have paperwork to be done, and also if they come with these two, the updated x-ray, the weight and the height, it makes it much better, and you can see as much persons as possible.
What happens to individuals who probably they're suffering from scoliosis? They were not able to participate in the first exercise. Are they also welcome?
Oh, most definitely. They are welcome because the clinic is deemed general orthopedic. So as I said, the last one was specific to scoliosis, but this one is for all issues with any part of the bone, the skeletal system. You are welcome to come with a child once you're between 0 to, well, not 0. We'll take it from 1 up to 21 years old. That's the pediatric population.
As a health practitioner, what are some of the trends that you've seen there? Is that a general area of concern for you? Children in the release. I was asking as a health professional, is there an increasing number of children or individuals on the island that have these orthopedic challenges?
I don't have the statistics with me, but from observation, we always have persons with some issue with the skeletal system. So some persons may be born normal, but as they grow and they put on the weight and they start walking, the teenage persons, as they start putting on body weight, you can observe the change in the child. So the parent, and the clinical practitioner will be monitoring and observing those children as they go on. So as parents, even teachers, or persons in the community may observe. For me as a health professional and associated with the WPP, it becomes like a natural thing for me. If I'm walking through town and I see this child, with the parent with the legs, I would say, Mommy, this can be fixed. It's no longer, you allow them to just grow into that and think, well, culturally, that's okay. It can be addressed. And as usual, we say that if it's addressed at the pediatric level, that child quality of life growing into adulthood will have lots of benefit for the child and society by extension.
You highlighted some children are born that way, others for whatever reason. What are some of the reasons that could give rise to children with those challenges?
Again, let's take back to utero while they're in the uterus. It depends on how they were formed or how they lie most of the time. If they were more than one, let's say twin, there's not much room for them to move around as possible. So chances are you might see them coming in with the deformity and the formation of the limbs. Additionally, as it depends, some could be habitual. Is when the child started to walk, and there might be issues with other parts of the body that cause the child not to have a proper gait. So it might be a nerve issue or the hip. So there are a lot of various reasons. Some persons you can see it's hereditary.
Right.
If you look down at the family, you will see that is something, and that's why some persons, that's the family mark. But gone are the days when you just leave it, but it can be addressed. I've seen it.
Help is available.
Of course, it is available, and WPP is offering this clinic freely in association with the Ministry of Health and by extension the government of Grenada. They are partners.
WPP, who are they though?
They are a non-profit organization. They are based in the U.S. They also have, just as how they have representative in Grenada, they have it in other English and French-speaking islands. But the base for the OECS is in St. Vincent. So the executive director, which is Lauren McIntosh, she is the one that will be coordinating everything in the region, liaising with WPP in the U.S.
Children with these orthopedic challenges, it's not just about the way that they look physically, their gait, but it can affect them psychologically, and it can limit them to having what would for most individuals would be a normal way of life, enjoying basic things that children do enjoy.
That's true, because again, we in a society where I grew up, where persons would tease you if there's any deformity to them, you look abnormal, they would tease you. But I'm hoping that is kind of going off and children understand the consequences of bullying and teasing. So I think children might be a little more accommodating and trying to assist their fellow students or family members that have an issue. But yes, it does affect the person psychologically, even physically, to do things that they would love to do, but because of the deformity or the issue that they are having, they are incapable of doing it. So, or it limits them in terms of the capacity to perform their normal functions.
Those suffering with scoliosis, talk to me if you can about that condition, how it comes about. Is it also hereditary, or can it be something that's developed over a period of time?
Yes, scoliosis is more or less, you would see it mainly as the child develops, it becomes worse if it's not addressed. So there are different angles. Your spinal, the spinal bone is supposed to be straight. All right. So in scoliosis, there's some form of angle deformity. Sometimes it gets so complex, the spine is shaped like an S. So you can imagine that upper part's supposed to keep you upright, your gait in terms of how you walk, how you do things. If it's shaped like an S, that child is in constant pain. They even just to sit up, they have a very different gait. So you can actually see it. Persons you will see when they have issue with the spine, they walk a bit one-sided based on the gait, and when you put on the clothes and you look, you can see it up, and there is not equal. So just by observing, you can see it.
And I guess early intervention, treatment through brace and other medical procedures that could assist with the problem?
Oh, most definitely. And if it's so complex that brace not able to do anything about it, then you would need surgical intervention where they go in and put some rods to straighten the spine, and it stays in the child for.
That's the titanium rods.
Yes.
That's the rods. What about Marva? You see children and you see them literally laboring with some bags on their back. Education, the school, there's much more demand for much more textbook. Do you see that as one of the challenges there is to that problem, or can it aid in that problem?
I prefer to go with caution to say aid. Right? Because based on the child's weight and the weight of the books and the bags, it would kind of have a shift on how the gravity of the central aspect of the body, and they may shift. And if they carry the bag at one side again, additionally, you can see over time how that could cause problem. Generally, not even just scoliosis, but they will have problem with the lower or upper back based on how they carry the book bag. But there's some what we call light beyond the tunnel, because with technology now you have children having the devices, and we'll soon move to e-books. So let's see how, based on how we are moving with technology, that might be a thing of the past with time.
Also now they're still carrying you're carrying your load. True. You have to carry your load. What advice though would you offer to children and even parents in trying to adjust those conditions that could aid in probably worsening a condition that already exists?
Okay, so, in regards to the book bag, I think the PTA, the school, they can have a discussion and address this issue, but there will be cost involved. But I believe some form of collaboration with the timetable to guide the students. Sometimes you have children having 3-4 books for one subject. If there's some, coordination where you can say, okay, based on this subject, you only need to use this book, because, so the child won't think that they need to carry all 3-4 books for that particular subject for that day. Additionally, there's a cost involved. They can go into lockers. So students can leave some of the books in school safely and at least be able to access it and to lessen the amount they will carry on the particular day. There's some exercise, swimming, dancing. These things can help to lessen the effect on straighten those with the minor coughs, physiotherapy. So there's a lot that can be done, but we have to look at it collaboratively and make the necessary interventions. So I would say the PTA and the schools, they can have that discussion and address some form of intervention.
And that's cool also while we are on the issue of the bags and the impact it has on you, the weight, that constant weight, because I mean these kids carry these bags from the time they start preschool, books, which I sort of figured, is this really making sense? So you have your backpack, they have their lunch bags, kids, they have the umbrella. I don't know, years ago you went to school just an exercise book and you walk good, you move. But cannot that also give rise to case on the occurrence of lower back pain and those those chest pains and those other things?
Most definitely. Just generally as you grow, depending on how tall you are and your weight and what you do, everyone would somehow have some pain related to the back. Again, how you bend, how you stand. As I said, we encourage the children to use the bag with the two arms so you can balance the weight. But for some students, it's style, having it on one side.
Just sling it over.
That too doesn't help the situation at all.
I know the program speaks specifically to children and teenagers up until the age, young people up to the age of 21. But if we can, while it's not open to adults, we grow into some bad habits, Marva, really, really bad habits. The way we sit, the way we sleep, the things we become cultured to. What can you advise? What kind of advice can you offer to somebody that's probably with this recurring back pain for them and those sort of things?
Again, we have to look at our activity and how we do things in daily life, daily activities of life. How we do sit, as you say. Do you have you're accustomed to having a proper posture? How in terms, some persons, their confidence level is so low that they always be bowing. You have to be mindful that every part of your body is connected. Your skeletal system is what keeps you up. Without that, you'll be in bed. So a lot of things, lifestyle changes, making that effort. You may have, that's your habit, but making an effort, be mindful. I want to kind of touch on technology, right? Look at we have in school going on, meetings. You will have to, ergonomics, you will call that. You need to get up certain times, move around, stretch after sitting for, let's say, 30 minutes, move around, wiggle your toes, do some stretches, because lifestyle, as things evolve and we get more modernized and we gravitate a lot to the technology, our body now have to adjust and we have to assist the body to adjust. So you're sitting, you might be an adult having 6, 7, 8 meetings via Zoom. Yes. You sit for all this time. So you have to find some way to factor in some routine, purposeful exercise. And for those persons with back issue, they can need a supportive thing at the back of the chair. So the design of the chair, the height and the height of the chair to suit the table you are walking on. So you notice some places there have those where you stand up so you could move around. You have headphones, wireless, and you do what you have to do. You don't have to be stationed and feel, these things over time will affect you because your body was not designed to be like that for so long. So you can see over time you'll have a lot of orthopedic problem with the adult population. Well, children will get it too.
And I'm happy you mentioned the children because they're the ones very often, the adults with the extensive work hours, but children with a device, they line on a couch or somewhere and there's some strange angles, they contort themselves. That is not healthy for them either way, is it?
Not at all. So we call them digital native, digital citizens, but we need to factor in some aspect of some physical activity and know how to use that device properly. It makes no sense trying to say, take it away from them. No, that's their life, that's their thing. Is trying to see how we could feed them around, making sure it's healthy, so they can, be not too negatively impacted by that activity. And I'm agreeing. That's the world.
I'm agreeing with you, but what has to be done is managing the process. Managing. Yes. And it's a conversation you hear more and more now from the Ministry of Education. Digital screen time. You can't take it away. That's their world, so you don't want to limit them. But as parents, you want to be able, and if they have to use it, even just for doing the work, you wouldn't want to encourage them to be lying and using the device, would you? Probably seated, upright. Mm-hmm. That helps with the gait and to reduce some potential problems.
Yes, most definitely. I did my master's in public health and occupational health, and environment. So I do have a different understanding. And one of those things was how you use the devices as humans. So you don't stare too long while you end up with eye problems. You need to look away. You need to move. There's a certain height. And so, as I say, as the technology evolves and we as humans try to adjust, our body really and truly is taking a knock, and we have to make some purposeful intervention to not have it negatively affect us, since that's our daily life to dealing with technology.
For those of you that joined us, you're probably wondering, I know we shifted a bit from where the conversation started, but it was just to make the connection that literally we have to do what we have to do to take care of ourselves. And what we were highlighting, Marva, is that it's an orthopedic clinic that's coming up on the 5th. And good news, because the team, they were here not too long ago, had already decided, based on a number of cases, why not make a return. But while you were there, you did mention, and I think we just probably have to, for the purpose of our listeners and viewers, the challenge, Marva, of sitting for too long with a device right up to our faces, and the impact can be tremendous. Negative, though.
Most definitely, as I said, anything you do that too much will affect your body. Doesn't matter, it be good or bad. You have to manage how it will impact. You sit too long, it's a problem. You stand too long, it's a problem. So we have to listen to our body cues. We do get our body sends signal,
Okay.
To say you need to move. You could be sleeping and you're sleeping on your hand, and it's cramping because you're not getting enough blood. It will cramp you and for you to move. So sometimes, as nurses, we say to patients, pain is not always bad. It is saying to you that it's a signal to say you need to change your position, because this area is not getting enough blood based on what you are doing. If you have your hand up too long, after a while, what will happen? Because by basic design of your body, your anatomy, it has to go with certain gravity and everything to make the blood flow. So yes, we have to be mindful that, I say to myself, I'm having so much meetings via Zoom that I need a headphone that doesn't require me to be sitting. I can be moving and doing something and still very engaged in what I need to be doing via Zoom. Because of how many I have to do per day, I think having a wireless, I'm not promoting any specific thing to you in terms of trying to promote sale.
But it is what it is.
Best fit for purpose. If you are someone who has to do a lot of those things, it's something that you should invest in.
Especially if you're in an environment that allows you, even if wherever you are, even if you're in the office, even if you're saying just to get up, even just for a minute, 2 minutes, just to stretch. You can get the wireless headphones. You have the plugs, the earbuds, whichever one it is. At the end of the day, as you said, is responding to the needs of your body, and it gives you those telltale signs.
Of course, you need to respond to it and make the necessary.
Well, responding to it,
we get so caught up. We got so, like if you really wanted us to finish, and you're feeling about it, and then you say, oh my God, this is what happens.
and
So-
it leads, and it has its own challenges. But that's another conversation that you and I are going to have, though. But the clinic is on that one-day clinic. It is 1 day as compared to two
only
the last
1
time.
day.
Just for 1 day. Just give us the
Yes.
details again. And I'm assuming, tell us what are the prerequisites. And I'm assuming also that COVID-19 protocols would be in full effect.
Most definitely. So I'm going to just touch on the specific of the clinic. The clinic is a general orthopedic clinic. So when I say general orthopedic, I mean all bone conditions that affect children. So if you missed the scoliosis clinic the last time, this is your opportunity to come, and with other conditions, as I said, the club feet, the knock knees, the bow legs, anything, your hand, any issue to do with bones, and you are diagnosed by your doctors, you having that condition, and you're in the pediatric population, you can come to the clinic, just have your doctor write a referral note, you get an x-ray. Once you didn't have it within 3 months, no later than 3 months, you
Right.
come with that x-ray, or if you go to the hospital or wherever you go to have that x-ray done, they can send that x-ray or walk with the city to the clinic. You also come with your height and weight taken, because in that way we process much faster and more persons can be seen. So please, it starts at 8 a.m. The clinic is located in the Occupational and Health and Safety Department in the General Hospital on Sunday the 5th. So I know that day might be challenging for some persons, but we're saying it now, so you can at least try and organize a ride. We are good citizens who will look out for one another. Somebody will give you a ride, because on their way to Dominica, they try to schedule that clinic. So we are grateful and we want to maximize it. So as much, we start 8, in the end finish will be based on how many persons. Last time we started when it was bright, we ended when it was dark. So just to accommodate persons, so they would not try to turn away persons, but you have to be within the pediatric age range.
And certainly, he reminded folks the protocols. Come expecting the same.
Definitely, your mask, you use hand sanitizer and keep distances. So as much as because we can't really do the appointment because of the short window we have to work with, when you come, you will expect it to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols.
Thank you, Marva. While we at it, though, we rested on that for a while. What's happening inside of the Grenada Planned Parenthood, though?
Oh, we are ready. Persons, this November, there were a lot of persons who came to have the pap smears done and other procedures. So I'm going to put it out there that, besides COVID and everything what's going on, we need to pay attention to our health. And cervical cancer is one of those cancers that take very long for changes. So as women, we have a lot of opportunity to catch it very early. The earlier you catch it, the less the intervention, less expensive, less problem and stress for you as a woman. So come get your pap test, your VIA, all your contraceptive, and men, we have services generally for you. So hello. Yes, we are here and open to serve.
I'm only teasing you on that. You and I are going to have a conversation as the time progresses. But I'm just happy because of the absence. You were almost absent for almost 2 years, and we did announce a couple of weeks ago that you were back. Just to remind the folks that the Grenada Planned Parenthood that you were back, and you are the same at the old location.
The same location.
Same location.
And we're having our AGM. Our AGM is on Saturday the 27th at 6 p.m. So persons who would like to at the Players Pavilion in this National Stadium, so persons who would like to witness the AGM, they are welcome.
Again, folks, remember that orthopedic clinic. It is on the 5th of December. It's not on Sunday, but the team, as you said, they're making the sacrifice. You have advanced time to make the sacrifice as well, that you can plan. If you need transport, maybe what you can do, folks can do, if you're in the same locale, maybe team up. You don't need to have 4 and 5 vehicles going up to the hospital. Maybe find them from a friend. And most times, you may probably have somebody that has a similar challenge. Call somebody, let them know. Listen, the team is back, they're making the effort. Why not? Let's go out and take advantage of it. Thanks a lot, Marvel. Appreciate it. You have yourself a great day.
Thank you, and let them know it's free.
Yes, it is free. It is free of cost.
And in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Government of Grenada.
And the Government of Grenada. Thanks a lot. You have yourself a wonderful day.
Welcome.
Folks, great news indeed. Great news indeed. Go out and take advantage. If you call somebody, let them know, listen, this is what I'm hearing. As Nurse Marvis said, you need to have yourself an x-ray. A referral, the x-ray must at least be done within the last 3 months. A referral, and you're good to go. Go ahead, go out there and take advantage of the voluntary service that's being offered. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right here on Classic in the Morning Time.
Grenada, we want you to get ready. The whole of the Tri-Island for the housing census 2021, yeah. This is a call to the nation. I have some information. It's important. I want everyone join us in support of the census. So come here, let's count the population to give the right amount we need you on board. The entire public, your support, we really need it. AI, starting from the 15th of September, help us count every number. Yeah, to improve the life of the people. We need information, calling out to the nation. We don't want to leave anyone out. So for we can the statistics, you got to partake in it. Yeah, cause the nation depend on you, on you, on you. Grenada depend on you, on you, on you. Caribou depend on you. Hey, Pity Matnik too. We need all of you. Yeah.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first. Save energy, save a time. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth. Always at when let you come first.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
welcoming back our wonderful friends on television. While we added, good news though, Complete Care Pharmacy, they're having their first annual free health clinic. So when? It's December the 1st. Where is it? It's at the Calavini Community Center. That's on the Calavini Main Road. And between 10 and 12 on that day, what are they offering? Free blood pressure checks, free blood sugar tests, free nutritional and dietary counseling, and you get a free doctor visits, including a gynecologist consultant, a specialist for all women, and all women, even those that are pregnant, giveaways, and so much more. You can call or WhatsApp for more information, 423-3638. Complete Care Pharmacy. Care you can trust right at home. So keep the date in mind. It's December the 1st. It's a free health clinic that's coming up. Yes? So, added to that, again, in case you're just joining us, there is that clinic, the orthopedic clinic that's been put on in collaboration with the WPP. That's the World Pediatric Project of the Ministry of Health. And you want to go out there, make it a date, December 5th. That's for the orthopedic clinic at the General Hospital. That's on a Sunday. Reminding you before we go, though, that let me just put it up on my WhatsApp, that this is information from the Fisheries Division. They're continuing with the inspection, and the licensing process. I just want to tell you exactly where the team is going to be today. WhatsApp, don't fail me. I know I have you somewhere in my WhatsApp. I have it. Right, so I'm looking at the list for today. The exercise started on the 1st of the month. Today is the 25th. Yes, well, today is actually the last day. Actually, this is the last day. So today they're at Piti Bakai. Piti Bakai at the Piti Bakai Bay. That's from 1 p.m. until 2. And then there would be at the Grenada Marina. Yes, at the Grenada Marine. That's from 2 to 3. So today is in fact the final day at Piti Bakai, the Piti Bakai Bay, and the Grenada Marine. Piti Bakai from 1 to 2, and from the Grenada Marine from 2 until 3 p.m. Keep that in mind. By the way of programming note, tomorrow, just to advise you, would be the presentation of expenditure and revenue, and so as a result, we'll have abbreviated programming for you so that we can facilitate it. I want you to go there, keep your ears peeled as to what's happening, so that you can keep yourself in the know. Yes. As you go through the day, reminding you that COVID-19 protocols, they are in place. So play your part to do what you have to do. Sanitize, wearing of the mask. It is important. It is important that you play your part. Wear your mask, sanitize, the social distancing protocols. You do not want to get drawn into this false sense of security because the numbers are down. You do not want to. All it takes is that a moment of mental lapse or physical lapse as well, where you decide, you know what? Listen, you don't know, you can't trust. You could just be cautious. I know that there are times that the constant wearing of the mask, especially if you're motoring through town, you're moving through town, you're in the open, it can be difficult. Ever so often, you know what, you could just decide, just take a little release, get some fresh air, and do what you have to do. And I also want to encourage persons to make sure you wear a clean mask every day. You're probably thinking I'm not supposed to say that, but I know persons, they're thinking, well, I have to wear a mask every day, I can't afford. Listen, even if it's the one mask you have, just wash it. My co-worker says, listen, he treated his mask, that's the way he treats all his other personal items when you head into the shower. Yes, wash it, do what you have to do, yeah, and prepare it. You go home, wash it, and hang it out, and put it there. And every so often, if it's the same one that you're using, or if you have them those that you are rotating, keep in mind, maybe every now and again you want to be able to boil them just to kill whatever additional germs and bacteria that may gather in them. 5 minutes on to the hour, folks. This is Journey's End for now. The top of the hour, that's 8 o'clock. We join the BBC for a bulletin of news. 9 o'clock, we to the point. We have a literacy counselor from the Ministry of Education, Ms. Killies. She's going to be joining us as part of a conversation surrounding Child's Month activities, literacy, the importance of reading, understanding why should a child read? What's the significance of it? And that conversation is at 9 o'clock and to the point. Until then, great. So long, JC loves you. Have yourself a really wonderful day. For those of you that's joining us from the diaspora, as usual, we say good morning to you. Yulene Alexander, Ingrid Bourne, Patricia, to everyone, Kipling Francis, good morning. Wishing you all the best wherever you are. And those of you out there in the diaspora doing what you do, I know you have the challenge of the weather, but is what we signed up for. Keep safe. JC loves you, folks. The BBC comes up at the top of the hour. Until then, so long.